is secret police. This is state-sanctioned murder. This is Donald Trump's secret police. There's private army. You never thought that this dude might. This is insane. This is not law enforcement action. This is a secret police. This is state-sanctioned murder. They don't call any other outside investigation in. All these people are dying in the streets. People are getting shot. And all we have is their word. The same people who served the administration that mocked up someone crying. They lie constantly. They can do whatever they want. They're never going to, they investigate themselves. The same people who are in charge of the Epstein files are in charge of these guys. This is state-sanctioned murder. And they're staying there. This is not an immigration action. They are punishing those people. It's ironic that they have opened up investigations into elected officials and protesters and even reporters, but not against any of the officers involved. And how crazy does it look to see masked men shoot somebody in the street and scurry away and then tell you he was armed in a state where you can open carry? You can have a weapon. Everybody pushed for these, laws where people can open carry and walk around. You never thought that this dude might. This is insane. This is Donald Trump's secret police. There's private army doing exactly what he wants them to do, which is terrorize the people he doesn't like.
Well, there's been another pow in Minnesota, and this time, there's another W man that was unalive. He goes by the name of PRETTi. We've all seen the video. It's pretty graphic. It's really ugly. Listen, we've been telling the FBI, stay out of it. This is not a fight. This is not an argument. We've seen Renee Good get pow and then crash into a pole. Her and the dog was unalive, right? We know that Venezuela National was also pow in the leg. There's civil unrest going on in Minnesota. I'm talking about this pandemonium. It's crazy, right? People are afraid. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the Democrats was bringing all these immigrants in and through the borders in the South and flushing them up north, and they coming into our communities. I'm not a fan of that, but I'm also not a fan of ICE, right? I'm FBI. I'm not a fan of ICE, but I'm not a fan of the immigrants either. I'd like to know what were the methods that Obama used in order for him to send over 3 million immigrants back without having ICE. You know what I mean? Without it being people losing their lives, and there's just so much going on. I'd like to know the methods that he used, because whatever's going on now, it's going to get bad. And the reason why I'm taking this position, because y'all know like the way I teach, the reason why I'm taking this position, what the right is trying to do is create this civil unrest so bad to the point where they have to send National Guards into cities and then just take over cities like that. They're already doing it because they're using ICE to unalive W folks and having other W folks say, it's justifiable. So now if they unaliving W folks and it's justifiable, what you think gonna happen to you, right? Because once they start implementing these laws, they're not gonna rescind them. They're gonna be there in place, right? They're going to be there in place. No, we can't get kicked out the country. This is our home. They can't send us nowhere, right? But what they can do is create laws. Man, listen, it get bad. But let's look at what the mayor and the police chief was saying about this.
I just saw a video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death. How many more residents, how many more Americans need to die or get badly hurt for this operation to end? How many more lives need to be lost before this administration realizes that a political and partisan narrative is not as important as American values? How many times must local and national leaders must plead with you, Donald Trump, to end this operation and recognize that this is not creating safety in our city? As you'll hear from Director Sayer in just a second, we have seen these kinds of operations in other places, in other countries, but not here in America.
At approximately 9:03 a.m. this morning, Minneapolis police received a report of a shooting involving federal law enforcement in the area of East 26th Street and Nicollet Avenue on the south side of the city. Officers arrived and found an adult male with multiple gunshot wounds when they arrived. Life-saving aid was being rendered, and he was transported by ambulance to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he was later pronounced deceased. Based on the information that we have, which is very limited, this is a 37-year-old white male who is a Minneapolis resident, and we believe he is an American citizen. We have not been told any official reports of what has led up to the shooting, but we have seen the video that is circulating on social media. Our demand today is for those federal agencies that are operating in our city to do so with the same discipline, humanity, and integrity that effective law enforcement in this country demands. We urge everyone to remain peaceful. We recognize that there is a lot of anger and a lot of questions around what has happened, but we need people to remain peaceful. In the area, we have an unlawful assembly at this time. Minneapolis police have given multiple warnings for the crowd to disperse. We are asking for people to avoid the area and to leave if you are there. We have requested mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and from all our local and county regional partners. We ask everyone to remain calm and to please do not destroy our own city.
I tell people all the time, I don't rock with Trump. I don't rock with the radical right. I don't rock with the radical left. Y'all know how I feel about the left and them liberals and all that stuff, but I don't rock with Trump, right? Don't think that just because Trump is anti-immigrant and we want the immigrants out of our community that Trump is our ally. He's not our ally. He's not our friend, right? The federal government was just yesterday ordering them to take down all the slave and black history museum, was the stuff in the museums, right? The portraits and all the things teaching that our history. They was just telling them to take that stuff down. All of our FBA history right here in Philadelphia in these federally funded museums and in DC, they got to take that stuff down. And that's all under his administration. So they're not our allies or our friends, man. Don't get it twisted. Just because he's doing something that we agree with don't mean that he's an ally to us. None of them are. We ain't got no friends. And I need you guys to understand that. So screw them all. Screw them all. Now, like what's going on in Minnesota right now? You got riots in the streets. You got all kinds of wild stuff going on, right? W folks is going crazy because then finally they're knowing what it's like to be black in America. They're being treated like us, and it's getting to the point where they're not even talking about the Somali fraud that much no more. Now the scope is on ice. But let's look at what Fox News is reporting.
Story. We want to turn to Fox News correspondent Matt Finn in Minneapolis. He is following the aftermath of that deadly shooting yesterday. Hello, Matt.
Hi, Shannon. There's been weeks of unrest and chaos here in Minneapolis, and now the National Guard has been activated in certain neighborhoods. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says he requested the Guard from Governor Tim Walz, saying his local law enforcement is stretched thin after federal agents shot 37-year-old Alex PRETTi yesterday. Here is some video from that tragic incident. Alex PRETTi's family writing, "We are heartbroken, but also very angry. Alex wanted to make a difference in this world. Unfortunately, he will not be with us to see his impact. The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. Please get the truth out about our son. He was a good man. Thank you." DHS says PRETTi. Trump writing, "This is the gunman's gun, loaded with 2 additional full magazines and ready to go." What is that all about? Where are the local police? Why weren't they allowed to protect ICE officers? The mayor and the governor call them off? An outraged Governor Walz responding.
I don't know how to say this in so many terms to watch the madness that we've witnessed over this last week coming out of the White House and what it's doing here. My confidence is, and I say it to Minnesotans, as I've said, exercise your First Amendment rights, speak out, bear witness and document legally. But I understand the risk in that, and I understand the courage that it takes.
The Trump administration has insisted for weeks that Democrats have warned they'll try to stop immigration enforcement by defunding DHS in the upcoming appropriations bill. Now, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Dems will officially try to block funding to, quote, rein in the abuses of ICE, potentially heading for another government shutdown. Minnesota Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar.
Right now we are focused on getting ICE out of the state. And, of course, we will use every lever that we have.
Now, the governor and the police chief here say Alex PRETTi had a legal license to carry. DHS says he did not have a readily accessible ID on him. Shannon?
Okay, Matt Finn reporting from Minneapolis. We know.
So when we look at that, man, listen, FBA, stay out the way. Mind your business. Don't be out there being a part of no protests, because I told you they need a black sacrifice, man. Right? Especially, listen, when the W folks happen, you know, they make a big deal. But when something happened to you, now it just goes crazy, right? And then they, you know, they start getting a whole bunch of funding for, you know, man, listen, just stay out the way. Stay out of the way. Mind your business. This is between W folks. This is a radical war between the radical right and the radical left. And we already know what the radical left was doing, was pushing their agenda. We've seen their agenda. Now we're seeing the agenda of the radical right. And we're finding out what's FBA's agenda. What's our agenda? So don't get it twisted. Neither of these parties are our friends. I don't rock with D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley rocks strong with the Democrats, right? Knowing that so many of our people are against a lot of their policies, right? So I'm not for him. I'm not for none of them. I'm strictly for FBA, and I understand that we don't have no friends, man. No friends. And we got to figure out, like, you know, how we going to move. How we gonna move? Because when you see this kind of stuff happen, man, only thing I'm saying to y'all is we are U.S. citizens. We can't be deported. No, we're not gonna be deported. But when they start doing this kind of stuff in America, and W folks start to justify it, right? They start making this stuff case law. The stuff start to become law, and then guess who gets affected the hardest? We will. So don't be just too hyped on what Trump is doing with his ICE soldiers, right? Just because they doing it under the mask of getting rid of illegals. No, this is how they're going to start treating Americans, period. Don't get it twisted, man. So all I'm saying is stay out of the way, keep your nose clean, man, and we just sitting on our couch watching. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.